So today we will study carbenes. Carbene is defined as a molecule containing a neutral carbon atom. Containing a neutral carbon atom with two unshared valence electrons. So it is different from carbcation and carbanion. Because carbcation have the positive charge, carbanion have the negative charge. Carbcation have the positive charge with three bonded atoms. Carbanion have the negative charge with three bonded atoms and 8 electrons. Carbenes are neutral molecules containing two unshared valence electrons with two bonded atoms. You have to keep in mind the difference between carbanion and carbene is that in carbene we have only two bounded atoms with the carbon, whereas in carbanion having negative charge we have three bounded atoms and total 8 electrons in the valence shell. In carbene we have only 6 electrons in the valence shell, and it disobeys octet rule having 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So the general formula of carbene is that we have two atoms attached to the carbon and we have two electrons. Whereas in carbanion we have three bonded atoms. You have to keep this difference in mind. And we have 8 electrons. Here we have total of 6 valence electrons. So this is the general formula for carbene. Methylene is the simplest carbene and the parent species from which all other carbene compounds are formally derived. Although derivatives are more often named by carbene nomenclature, like CCl2 is generally known as dichlorocarbene, although it can also be called dichloromethylene. Most carbenes are very short-lived. Mostly all reactive intermediates are short-lived, okay, because they are unstable. If we talk about carbene, they are unstable and they want to stabilize themselves. They want to obey octet rule to complete their 8 electrons in the valence shell. So now we will classify carbenes. Carbenes are classified as singlets or triplets. There is no doublets. I will tell you why. Depending upon their electronic structure. Okay. So carbenes are classified as singlets or triplets depending upon their electronic structure. A carbene could exist in two spin states, singlet carbene and triplet carbene. So now if we talk about a singlet carbene, the two unbonded valence electrons in the electron deficient carbon are in the same orbital, with one spin up and with one spin down, which we normally show like one up and one down. So it is plus 2 and minus 2. They are a lone pair. They act as a lone pair. The carbon atom in the singlet carbon is sp2 hybridized, in which the paired electrons occupied an sp2 orbital. So this is the diagram of singlet carbene, and you will see that we have both electron in the same orbital with one spin up and with one spin down. They are a lone pair and they are present in the sp2 hybrid orbital, and we have an empty p orbital. Now if we talk about total electron spin angular momentum, we will calculate it through degeneracy. Degeneracy is the possible orientation of the total spin, how this molecule will spin like a spin ball. So how this molecule will act. So this is the formula for calculating degeneracy, the total possible orientation 2s plus 1 when we have s is equal to 0. Why we have s is equal to 0? Because we have plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is equal to, they both cancel each other. They cancel the effect of each other. That's why we have 0s, which is total electron spin angular momentum. And then we have, after solving this equation, we have is equal to 1, which is known as singlet. That's why we call it as singlet carbene, because the spin of both electrons cancel each other, and we have total electron spin angular momentum s is equal to 0. And if we calculate degeneracy, which is the possible orientation of the total spin, we have answer is equal to 1, and 1 is the singlet. And now if we talk about a triplet carbene, the two unbonded valence electrons in the electron deficient carbon are in adjacent degenerate equal energy orbitals. So they are not present in the same orbital, but present in the equal energy orbital with same spin. So now they are present in the same spin. So both have plus 1 by 2 and plus 1 by 2. Since a triplet carbene has unpaired electron, it is by definition we will call it as a radical. So now if we look on the diagram of triplet carbene, you will see that we have both electron in the adjacent equal energy orbital with same spin. Both are in upward direction. And now if we calculate total electron spin angular momentum, s is equal to 1, because both will add up. And then if we calculate degeneracy, we have 2s plus 1, and after solving the equation, we have answer of 3, and we call it as triplet. That's why I tell you that we don't have any doublet in carbene, but you can find in other molecules singlet, doublet, triplet by using this formula of degeneracy, the possible orientation of total spin. Triplet carbene are generally stable in gaseous state, while singlet carbene occur more often in aqueous medium. Shape of carbene is planar and bent. Now we talk about generation of carbenes. Carbenes can be generated by the following methods. From aliphatic diazo compounds, carbene are generated from diazoalkanes via photolytic thermal transition metal catalyzed routes. Typical catalysts are rhodium and copper. So now this is our diazoalkane, and then with the photolytic thermal or transition metallized route, we will have our carbene. You have to keep in mind that in the carbene we must have two bonded atoms with the carbon, no, not three. And the other method is from ketenes. Ketenes can be decomposed thermally or photolytically to generate carbenes. So it will be break from this part, and then we have two electrons of our carbene, and then we have CO. From epoxides, photolytic decomposition of epoxides to carbene. So then we have double bond of carbon, and these two bond will break, and then we have our carbene. From diazerine, decomposition of diazerine generates carbenes. So if we have diazerine, it will break from this position, and then we have our carbene, because in carbene we must have two bonded atoms and two electrons. From tetrazoles, thermal decomposition of tetrazole generates carbenes. So if we have a tetrazole and the decomposition of tetrazole occur with minus N2, then we have an intermediate with positive and negative nitrogen, anionic and cationic nitrogen, and after removal of minus N2, we have our carbene. And from alkyl halide, this method is used for generation of chlorocarbenes. Dichlorocarbenes CCl2 can be generated in steo from chloroform and a strong base. A strong base removes an acidic proton adjacent to an electron withdrawing group to give a carbene. Loss of a leaving group from the carbene creates a carbene. So you will see that if we have CaCl3 in the presence of base, we have carb anion. What is the difference between carb anion and carbene? That we have negative charge and carbon is bonded with 3 atoms. Okay, and then if we want to, then this carb anion loses our leaving group. One chloride molecule will leave from this position, then we have 2 molecules of chlorine attached with the carbon with 2 electrons, and this is dichlorocarbene. In carb anion we have 3 molecules attached with the carbon. In carbene we have 2 molecules attached with the carbon, and one leave the carb anion, and then we have carbene. And from yield, thermal decomposition of yield generates carbenes. So you know that in yield we have dipolar molecule containing a formally negative charge atom, usually a carb anion. So we have carb anion because it is bounded with 3 atoms and have negative charge, directly attached to a heteroatom with formally positive charge. So it is attached with the heteroatom with the positive charge, phosphorus or sulfur and nitrogen, and in which both atoms have full octets of electron. And you have to keep in mind that in carb anion we have 8 electron in the valence shell and it is full octet of electrons, but we still need one molecule attached with the carbon, and then it get removed from this position, break from this position, and then we have our carbene, because now it is attached with 2 other molecules and with 2 electrons. So total 6 electrons. So this is not obeying octet rule because it has only 6 electrons. How? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we will talk about chemical reactions of carbenes. Cycloaddition. Carbenes add on an olefinic double bond giving a cyclopropane derivative. So if we have an alkene, a carbyne can easily react and form a cyclopropene. So it can attack on this carbon, and then this bond will break and this carbon will attach to this carbon, and then we have a cyclopropane. When the reaction is performed in liquid medium, singlet carbene is formed, which adds on in stereospecific way. So what does it mean that it adds on in stereospecific way? Cis alkene gives cis cyclopropene and trans alkene gives trans cyclopropene in the case of singlet carbene. So if we have trans olefin. Olefin mean any double or single double or triple bond containing compound. If react with singlet carbene, we will have the same stereospecific compound. So if we started with trans, then we have end up with trans cyclopropane in case of singlet. And if we started with cis reacting with singlet carbene, we will have 6 cis cyclopropane. Okay, so if we have trans olefin reacting with singlet carbene, we will have trans cyclopropane. And if we start with cis with singlet carbene, we have the final product cis cyclopropene. So this is stereospecific. In gaseous medium, the attacking species in triplet carbene, which does not add stereospecifically. Now, if it react with a triplet carbene, then it is not stereospecific. Then we will get cis cyclopropane or trans cyclopropane. So it is not stereospecific. But in case of singlet carbene, we will have stereospecific end products. In case of triplet carbene, we will not have stereospecific product at the end. Rearrangement. Alkyl carbenes can undergo rearrangement involving migration of an alkyl group or hydrogen. So it is same like our previous discussion about carb cation and carb anion, that there is rearrangement of alkyl group or hydrogen. So from this diagram you will say that we have double bond here, and this hydrogen change its position from this carbon atom to this carbon atom, and then we have 1,2 hybrid shift. Same case like with this carbon, that this hydrogen is rearrange itself from this position to this carbon, and then we have a bond between this carbon and this carbon. So this is just an rearrangement of the alkyl group or hydrogen, because carbene can form 2 more bonds because it is attached with 2 molecules, but it still need to bind with 2 more molecules to obey octet rule to complete its 8 valence electrons. Insertion reaction. Carbene can be inserted into other molecule as, so if we have methane, it can react with carbene, and then we have ethane. So it is inserted into any other molecule easily. So this hydrogen will attach with this carbon, and then this carbon will attach with this carbon. Okay, it is CH3. And propane can be easily converted into N-butane and isobutane. Okay, that this hydrogen will be attached with this carbon, then we have CH3, and then this carbon will attach with this carbon. Then we have CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3 and butane. Now we will talk about the stability of carbenes. Carbenes are electron deficient because we have 6 electrons. So this is the main difference between carb anion and carbenes. In carbenes we have 6 electrons. In carb anion we have 8 electrons, and the carbon is bounded with 3 other atoms and have a negative charge. In carbenes we don't have a negative charge. It is bounding with 2 other molecules and 2 electrons, extra electron, 2 electrons, and total carbenes have only 6 electrons, not 8. Therefore carbenes bind with strong electron donating atoms because it want to complete its octet rule. It want to obey octet rule and want to complete 8 electrons. However, for example, carbene having nitrogen atoms are particularly stable. So if we have nitrogen at both ends of a carbene, it is more stable. Rather than being electron deficient, these carbenes are nucleophile because of strong electron donation by nitrogen. So nitrogen can donate its lone pair to this carbene, and it has more resonance structure and it is more stable. In fact, the classic isolatable carbenes will all have resonance electron donating substituents on carbene carbon. So if it can form more resonance structure, then it is more stable like other compounds or other organic molecules. So if you have more resonance structure, the compound is considered as more stable. Bulky substituent kinetically stabilize all types of carbene. Increasing the steric bulk of the carbene substituent broadens the bond angle as in triplet state. So if you remember the triplet state of carbene, we have two electrons in different orbitals. So it increases the bulk of steric hindrance and they are more stable than singlet state. Resonance carbene, in which carbon is attached to two atoms which bearing a lone pair of electrons are more stable due to resonance. If carbene is attached with any molecule having lone pair, nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen, and can form a resonance structure, it is more stable than normal carbene. So if we take the example of thymine, it is found in yeast. Its active form is obtained by pyrophosphorylation of alcoholic group and deproteination. So this is the structure of thymine, and its active form we have our carbene by the phosphorylation of alcoholic group and deprotonation. So this is the group, and if we do the phosphorylation and deproteination by the removal of a proton, we will have our carbene molecule, and it is active form of vitamin B1, which is thymine.